Did your mom really never make it through high school? I really never thought that in this day and age there would still be people like that among us. This is honestly so awful. Now I'm going to have to think about this all the time when around her, and people might start to make fun of me for it. Why the hell would she do something like that in the first place? I wish my husband would have told me about something as embarrassing as that before marrying me.
Hi, Melanie. What are you going on about right now? We had told you all about why she never made it through high school, but it seems at the time you didn't care to listen to any of us. So that's on you for not understanding the reason for it.
Huh? So you're telling me that had I listened to that lame excuse, I wouldn't be saying anything right now? When I heard this from Drake, I was beyond shocked, let me tell you. I get wanting to hide something as huge as that, but come on! She should already know her place in this world now, and I don't want any part of it.
Hold on. We weren't even trying to hide that from you, though. And besides, you shouldn't be so judgmental of others based on their education anyway. The only thing you should ever be judging is the way one is living their life, and even then you should refrain from doing something like that. So would you leave this be now? My mom hasn't done anything to you besides be kind and generous.
What are you talking about? It's embarrassing that you're starting to go on now about how we shouldn't be judging one another off our education.
I'm not trying to say we shouldn't. I'm saying it's literally unfair to judge someone off of that alone. We shouldn't even be worried about how others live their lives at all, to be honest. Right now, my mom is living a very happy life, so shouldn't that be enough? I don't understand why you keep trying to make fun of her for having a happy life, just because she dropped out of high school.
Well, let me open your eyes a little to the truth. Right now, your mother is having to live off Social Security, right? That means she never had a good enough job to make any savings from, or even a 401k. And from what I've seen, she has so much time on her hands because she's not doing a single thing. She doesn't have the money to. And last time when she came over to my house, she started asking for us to take care of her. She's causing problems for all my family now, and I will not have it.
What? She went over to your house? That's rare of her. My mom usually never goes over to other people's houses unless invited. And she's not the kind of person that would ask for others to care for her if she did go over.
You're her daughter, so of course you're not going to realize the true woman she is. In reality, your mom is so shameless and overbearing towards others, and the fact that she tries to act as though she's all that just pissed me off.
What? But really, my mom is not that kind of person. And if all of that were really true about her, you do realize that you're saying all of this to her daughter right now. Talking about her in such a horrible way right now doesn't make me feel too good.
Then start listening to me so that I don't have to talk about her that poorly anymore. So far, she's been causing so much trouble for your older brother and I.
I'll go have a talk with her about this then.
How can she think she's so above everyone else when she rides around on a scooter half the time to get around town? That really pissed me off, so I went and took it away from her.
What? What are you talking about?
Isn't it pretty dangerous for older people to be riding on things like bikes and scooters in the first place? I'm sure you never noticed how unbalanced she is on that electric scooter like I had. So I've made sure she can't ride on that dangerous scooter anymore. And another thing, an old hag like her isn't even good enough to be riding on such a high-end scooter anyway.
Hold on a sec. That scooter is something that my mom got into recently. She found it really relaxing to ride that over something like a bike or driving a car. And considering she's so close to so many things, there's no reason for her to use a car. She also happens to enjoy riding that scooter around in general, and that's probably why she looks like she's off balance or something at times. She's told you about how much she loves that scooter before, right?
Did she? And? You really think I gave a crap about how she felt when she's not even my mom? I am far younger than her, and I have a lot going on in my life that I need to get to. I think she'd be far more happy letting me take the scooter and riding it for her.
In other words, you just want it for yourself, right? How about you act like a responsible adult and go out and buy yourself one of those scooters if you want one so badly? Why would you even think that taking my mom's scooter is the best choice?
Because it's a pain in my butt to have to go out and buy my own. Hers is so easy for me to take, and it's still at my house right now. Since she's left it here, it's mine now, right?
I have no idea how that makes any sense to you. Haven't you always been the one bragging to me about all the money you have? Why would you find it all right to steal someone else's things when you can just go buy them yourself?
You have no respect for others' feelings, do you? I bet you're jealous and upset over the fact that I'm an elite, right? Considering all you are is some helpless comic book creator. And soon you'll be in your 30s, right? How much longer do you plan to chase after that stupid dream of yours?
Please don't start to make things about me right now. There's no need to be worried about me anyway. I'm doing well enough for myself, and that's all that matters. So let's get back to the topic at hand here. Please?
You just let me make fun of you like that and you're not going to fight back? How boring. Instead, you just went and dodged my slight at you, huh? What's the matter? Are you not even strong enough to defend yourself anymore?
Talking with you like this is really starting to wear me out. The fact that you can't even continue to talk about the topic of debate for more than a few minutes might be because you, yourself, don't have much of an education.
What? Excuse me, but what was that? Are you only now going to try fighting back? You're a bit too late to be throwing any punches now, so I'd stop if I were you. After all, the gap between you and I has been made already, and if you were to actually try swinging at me all the way up here, you'd fall right in.
The gap between you and I. None of what we've been talking about has been aimed at comparing you and I, so how did you get there? Are we jumping to yet another one of your off-topic topics?
You're nothing but a single comic book creator that has gotten nowhere with that. Whereas I'm married to your older brother and am his housewife and have a pet dog, making every day of my life wonderful and relaxing. There. Tell me which one of us is winning right now. It's pretty dang clear to everyone who is.
Ugh. Yep, alright. To your eyes, you are the one on top here. Go ahead and keep on bragging about your life then.
I'm going to be living the celeb life forever now. Drake went and proposed to me the next time he has to travel overseas. He's taking me with him, and it'll be a little treat for me. He may be busy with work every day of his life, but he still finds time to treat me right. Having this wonderful husband granted to me has really made my life like that of a goddess.
I'm not sure how I convinced you of anything else. But as my brother, is he really working that much? I'm not convinced myself that he's putting in all that time.
Your older brother is amazing. He opened his own business and is bringing in loads of money for the two of us. If he wasn't able to do all of that, then I wouldn't be able to live my life this way, right? You can tell just by the house we're living in that he's putting in the hours.
Hold on. There's something really fishy going on with him. Ever since I can remember, Drake has hated things like studying with a passion. And anytime my parents weren't looking, he'd run off and go mess around somewhere. So I'm not too sure he's pulled himself together as much as you're saying he has.
I don't think you can just speculate about how your brother is living right now. Unless this is just how you get when you're that jealous of us. You couldn't know about how your brother is doing anyway, considering you never talk to him at all, right? You both have always been at odds with one another, so it must hurt you to know he's living large now.
Has my brother been trying to make it seem as though the reason we're so distant is because of me? I'm sure he's also been the one making you think I'm not doing well as a comic book creator either, right?
That's right. He's told me all kinds of hilarious and embarrassing things about you. You both may be siblings, but neither of you turned out quite like the other. One is a successful business owner, while the other is barely making enough money to stay afloat each month. Let me just make this clear now, but if you ever are in need of help, don't come begging us for any. You figure your miserable life out on your own, all right? We're not here to be your caretakers.
I never planned on asking either of you for help, so don't worry. Now I'm going to go let my mom know that it's best not to go back over to your guys' house ever again. Goodbye now.
Make sure she understands that, all right?
Sure, I'll make sure she's aware of everything. Mom, did you go over to Drake's house recently? What happened? Did something happen to make you go over there?
Did you hear about this from him? Why are you texting me now, Alina? Oh, that's pretty rare of you.
Actually, I heard about you having been over to their house from Melanie. Why did you go over there?
Listen, Alina, I was wanting to have a word with your brother. I'd been trying to call him, but he wouldn't pick up, so I was wondering how to get a hold of him. That's when I decided it'd be best to just head over to his place and speak to him in person.
I see. I'm not sure why he didn't pick up your calls, but he's always been that way with us, right? Same with Melanie, for that fact. They both seem to think they aren't part of this family, and that's probably why Drake has never bothered to talk to you.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. But the thing is, he's my son and that's my daughter-in-law. They can't just keep trying to avoid me forever, you know. But it seems that Drake didn't want to listen to what I had to talk about, even when I did go over there to see him in person.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened when you got there? Did they start to say terrible things to you then?
No, actually, we didn't really say much to one another at all there. I had originally wanted to go there and talk with him, and that's why I sent him a text letting him know that first. But I don't think Drake wants anything to do with me. And that's why he never picked up any calls from me or texted me back. Since he wasn't going to respond to me, I thought I'd at least take the chance, and that's why I went.
We both know those two were bad news.
What we did talk about at his house was very short, like I had said. When I arrived there, he answered the door, so we began to talk a little. That's when his wife came back from walking their dog. When she saw that we both had started to talk, she yelled at me to leave her property at once.
What? She started to yell at you? What was her reasoning for that?
She was upset that I was talking with my son while she wasn't around. She then went off about how I shouldn't be coming to their house, even if I have so much time on my hands.
But they were both aware that you were wanting to come over and talk, so why would she get so upset by you simply coming over to talk?
I wonder that too. I wanted to finish up what I had to say to Drake, but she continued to annoy me, and that got me angry. So I ended up leaving before I could finish up.
That's what sent you home? Mom, you've always been able to handle a lot of stress and crap from others. She had to have said some other things to you that made you angry, right?
Well, about that.
Please don't hide it from me. This has to do with our family, so please let me know what else she said.
Well, what else that woman said to me? It has to do with you. She told me that if my daughter is a failed comic book creator, then that means I'm a failure myself. She started to talk even more crap about you than she did about me.
Wait, she was getting upset about me? Wow, that woman. She really does have the worst personality. Mom, you don't have to be worried about all of that. You know very well that I'm not what Melanie thinks I am, and that's why I've learned to just ignore her.
I understand that, but having to listen to my own daughter-in-law talk trash about my very important daughter is just heartbreaking. Of course that was going to get me upset.
Well, I'm sure as a mom that would make you pissed off.
The thing is, you are doing so well on your own, making money that most could only imagine of bringing in. And the fact that you're doing all of that, and only in your late 20s, is fantastic to me. It's admirable. There is nothing about you someone else should be talking trash about.
I know. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for always having my back like that, Mom. Because you've always been there for me, pushing me along. I've been able to make this life that I have now.
You are outstanding, Alina. But when it comes to that woman, you're not doing anything about her, are you? I get that. But in my case, I can't just sit around letting her say things like that about you. I think part of this is my fault for letting both your brother and her get away with behaving like that for so long now.
I don't think that's true. By the way, Melanie went and stole your electric scooter, right? I love how she talks herself up so much only to have to take things from others to feel good.
Ugh, I knew it. I wasn't sure who had my scooter this whole time, so I didn't want to start aimlessly blaming people. But I knew my gut was right when it said she was the criminal.
Wait, you didn't know it was her?
I didn't. After all, she told me she had no clue where the scooter went. When I asked her about it, she never once said that she herself was the one that had it.
Wait, you went and asked her about it? So she would lie to you about it and then turn around and tell me the truth? I'm not really sure what she was meaning to do there, but by letting me know she did it, she should know I'd go talk to you about it, right? Either that or she doesn't seem to think that she did anything wrong. That'd be even worse. What an awful person.
I'm sure because I was the one asking about it at the time, she didn't want to say the truth. But had she done so, things would have gotten into a pretty heated argument. Maybe she just assumed that you wouldn't be able to do anything about it, and that's why she went and told you the truth?
That might be it, considering she's always calling me weak. She's really just having a ball messing with both you and I.
She sure is. We can't let this go on any longer, though, can we? I always knew there were things wrong with that woman's behavior, but she just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm not going to let this continue.
All right then, let's do something about her. Hey, where did you just run off to? Answer your phone right now. What the hell were you thinking, pouring that hot coffee all over my mom and running?
I have to go home and take care of my dog, as well as a few other things. You all should be happy I stopped by for that little bit of time and showed my face, right? The thing is, though, I would have stayed around a little while longer had it not been for the old hag. What was she thinking, coming up to me like that and questioning me about her scooter? I'm not going to hang out on the 4th of July and listen to her go on about that stupid thing all day. That's why I'm leaving.
She was just asking about it. After all, I had asked her about her scooter and where it was. But at that time I talked with her, she said she didn't know where it went. How come she didn't know about you taking it?
I had already told her once before that I had nothing to do with that scooter. She started to talk to me about it, and I wasn't going to just sit there and listen, so I lied to get her off my back. But bringing that up again to me? How freaking annoying. Wouldn't you get a little upset over having to listen to the same story about that scooter again?
Well, the reason she confronted you again is because you were the one who stole it from her. And you shouldn't find it annoying when someone comes to try and talk to you about how bad you've been behaving.
To be honest, actually, the both of you are freaking annoying. A high school dropout mother and her little failure of a shut-in daughter. That makes for a seriously cringe mother-daughter relationship. I know the both of you would just love to have my husband and I take care of you two forever. But you both are never going to have that future.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Considering things are coming to a close between us, let me make this very clear. I do not want anything to do with your uneducated and moneyless mother. I plan to cut ties to her and you now, since you both think you can get close to us for our money. Goodbye.
Do you have any idea what you're saying? The inside of your head must be completely empty besides all that hot air.
Huh? What was that? Is the loser really going to try and take a jab at me now? You're making me laugh for real now.
And that idea that you have there has already made me piss a little laughing. I get that my mom never made it past high school, but that didn't stop her from getting into the realty world and owning a lot of properties. Nothing about her is moneyless, yet you seem to not know about that yet.
What? What are you talking about now? What do you mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said. I'm sure to you she seems to have a lot of time on her hands, and that completely makes sense. But in reality, behind the scenes, she's running her own business. She goes out every so often to work with her customers and will travel a lot in order to make more connections with other companies.
Huh? What are you talking about? If you're actually being serious right now, then that would mean she's more busy actually doing something than I thought. But I can tell that she's got nothing going on, so better luck lying to me next time.
You don't have to believe anything I say, but just know that it's not a lie. I'm sure if my mom was a little more open about what she'd been going on with both of you, then you'd be coming over to her place all the time to see her. But she's decided it's better to keep everything she's doing a secret. Well, not a secret, but she hasn't said anything to you both yet.
Are you kidding me?
Also, there's one thing I have to say. My brother's not some business owner like you've been thinking. All he is a gambling addict who loves to go to the casino.
Huh? What does that mean?
He tried his best to make it seem like he was making it in this world by telling my mom he wanted to have his own business. In order to get her to send him money each month, he lied, saying that he'd been working hard on making that business come true. My mom never told me anything about what was going on, so I had no clue for so long.
What? So you're telling me this whole time we've been living off her money?
That's what I'm saying. But that money won't be coming in anymore, as she's done handing anything to you two.
Huh? You're lying, right? Hold on. If she stops sending us money, then how are we both going to carry on?
Weren't you calling yourself one of those elites or something? How about you use your eliteness to get a job?
No, wait. That's,
Or could it be that you were just lying to yourself this whole time, trying to make yourself feel as though you could actually do something? Well, don't get too far ahead of yourself, considering you only worked for less than a year before quitting and marrying my brother. You have nothing to show for, Melanie. I promise you.
No way.
My mom was planning to take all of the property she owns still and splitting them fairly between her two kids. But after what happened today, since you seem to think it's okay to pour boiling hot coffee on my mother, she's no longer going to deal with you both. Consider this the end of relations between both you and her. After today, she's cutting ties with you. There's nothing going to you both now.
No freaking way. Wait. I get it. I'll apologize to her. Had I known about all of those things, I would have never treated her so badly.
It's because you thought it was all right to treat her like that in the first place. She's cutting ties to you. And the last thing, would you both be able to leave that house you're living in right now for us?
What?
That house both you and Drake had been living in was given to you both by my mom. Well, not really given, rather she was letting you guys borrow it. I'm not sure what all my brother told you before about that house, but my mom is the one who owns the house and has the right to have you both removed from it.
Wait, please, I understand. I'm so sorry for all the things I've done to you both up until now, but please, wait a second. I can't take all of this at once, you know?
We never said you had to take any of it in and understand it. My mom is already getting ready to kick you both out, so just listen to what she says and you'll be just fine. Legally, that is. I'm sure personally your life is going to become very tough and you might not be fine. Well, good luck with that.
Please, go and tell your mom something to get her to stop. I don't want this. I don't want to have to work.
And the very last thing I forgot to mention, if you both come to us begging for help, it's not going to accomplish anything. We're not going to help you guys. Isn't that strange? You were just saying those exact same things to me a little while ago, right? Both you brain-dead losers need to go rot in hell with the shame you've brought upon yourselves. After that, Melanie began to freak out and came running and crying all the way back to the party. But her apologies that she gave me on her hands and knees meant nothing. Both my mom and myself did not listen to her begging and pleading. My mom went ahead and stopped all that financial support she was giving them. Along with that, she put the house they were living in on the market and then cut ties to both of them. Both Melanie and Drake tried so hard to stay in that house for as long as possible, but after multiple warnings from the realtor my mom had placed the house under, they called the police and made sure both the squatters were taken away. After that had happened, we didn't hear much else from the two, besides the police telling my mom and I over the phone that they both tried to say that the house was theirs and that my mom would prove it. But my mom never said the house was theirs and was only really allowing them to stay there out of kindness, which they both took for granted. So she told the police officer the house was not theirs and a part of her business. When this is all ended for my mom and I told her the whole story would make for a really good plot for my next comic and got writing and drawing. A little while later, the story went public, and before I knew it, I was being asked for some larger publishers to go and work with them. Of course, now that I'm on my own, outliving my dreams and making good money, I'll never have to look back at helping my brother and Melanie with anything. And naturally, I don't care about how those two are doing anyways, because I'm already certain life is not great for either of them anymore. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you in the next story.